I call it the mirror effect. So if you kind of mirror people in their body language or the way you listen to them, it almost hypnotizes people. And because we're all narcissists, which is something I talk about once again in my new book, we all have that narcissistic side to ourselves. When another person is reflecting back to us the same kind of looks, the same body language, the same values, the same ideas, it's incredibly seductive. We fall under their spell. And the opposite has the opposite effect. You know, some people don't like this because they say, God, I have to be an actor. I have to be something I'm not. I have to be artificial. But acting is actually kind of an exciting thing to learn. It's like a skill like any other skill. And being able to perform out in public is actually a liberating.
Welcome back to the Black Tea Podcast, everyone. I'm your host, and today we're diving into some tricky relationship advice that's been floating around, particularly in the dating sphere. We're going to take a look at this concept of mirroring someone's energy, especially when it comes to men and women, and see what we can learn from a Christian perspective. Now, I came across a video discussing this concept, and while some of it might seem appealing on the surface, I think it's important for us to approach these ideas with a lens of biblical wisdom. So, this whole idea of mirroring someone's energy...
Hey yo, can y'all please do me a favor if you're dating? Just roll out these relationship type benefits slowly. Because anybody can fake 8 to 12 weeks. That ain't nothing, especially when you in lust. But I want you to never do more for a man than he's willing to do for you. Like, just learn how to just mirror his behavior back to him. And I don't mean lower your worth, but I'm just saying that a man is a provider and a leader, right? Cool. Let me tell you this crazy story about my friend Nikki, who was once dating this guy, and she asked him, you know, hey, what are we? And he was like, I don't know, we just cool, I guess. Let me tell you how his birthday comes around, and she bought her friend 4 gifts to symbolize the 4 months that they were together. So she was running around for weeks trying to plan this whole thing and to make it perfect. Long story short, her friend didn't get her anything. Look, I get it. Some women love the act of giving, but spoiling a man that's not even your man is trash. I keep telling you to know your worth. Me and you been at this for a long time, and especially if you got my Diamond Series ebooks, and you know I'm not going for that. In the act of gift giving, if he gives you a gift that adds up to $50, then you can also spend a gift that adds up to $50. If he wants more, you need to see him put up more. Because it just doesn't make any sense if he gave you a $50 gift, but you gave him a $500 gift. Like, it's all about teaching a man and what you're not going to put up with. And I know sometimes it can be a little hard, right? But hear me out. You just taught him that he can give you the minimum and he'll receive great things in return. So peel back a little bit and let him lead. If he's upset, well, you can say, well, a man is supposed to lead, right? So why would I do anything more than what you're doing? See, for Nikki, she had to learn this lesson the hard way because of months of giving her good attention, love, energy, and she wasn't even worth a fucking gift card in his eyes. I know it's the thought that matters. yeah, I get it. But they're showing you so much about how little they think of you when it's time to turn words into actions. Birthdays, holidays, you know, always expose the real from the fake, in my eyes. So Nikki had to learn that lesson the hard way. She had to learn that when you give a man anything he didn't earn, he will feel like you're pursuing him, or he'll feel entitled, and you'll never get his best efforts. But when you mirror a man, he's able to see his behavior back onto himself. And so again, if he trips, just tell him you are following his lead. It's not games. It's just showing the person they get out what they put in. So I hope this helps. And again, if you haven't got the Diamond Series, Diamond in the Dirt book, the link is in my bio. It's up for grabs. I love you. We'll talk soon. On God, love.
The video I watched suggested that women should basically copy a man's behavior in a relationship. The argument is, if he pulls back, you pull back. If he's not initiating, neither should you. It's presented as some sort of power move, as a way to get a man to chase you. In the world's view, this is about taking your power back and ensuring you're not the one chasing. Now, as Christians, we must be very careful about what we're taking back. Are we really operating from a place of biblical femininity when we engage in these types of strategies? I see a few issues with this approach, especially when looked at through a biblical worldview. Firstly, as Christians, we are called to be genuine and authentic in our interactions. The Bible tells us to love one another with a sincere heart.
The one who cares the least holds the most power. The reason you're frustrated, stressed out, can't think is because you're overly invested in a person or a situation that is not beneficial. If you are a woman dealing with a man, you should be benefiting with him being in your life. Not stressed out, not in a masculine role, not trying to help him discover his purpose or help him find some money. That is not your role. Men are simple. We make things complicated. He ain't playing no date. He don't like you like that. He only want to see you at nighttime. He see you as a booty call. He only available certain hours of the day. Somebody else is in the picture. Come on now. Like, they are really that simple. That's why they always get caught cheating. They never successfully cheat. They are terrible cheaters. Why? Because they are so simple. We make things complicated. A man once said, I don't have to lie to a woman. If she likes me enough, she'll lie to herself. Ladies, it's time to wake up. Somebody comment below, wake up. Prioritize beauty and fitness so that you will have options. You don't prioritize beauty and fitness, you may feel like he's the best option or that's the best you can do because you're not making yourself a priority. But baby, once you walk into your currency as a woman, you will never have to settle for abuse, to be somebody's second option, for somebody to breadcrumb you, for somebody to save you for later. But you have to flow in your currency. I need all the women to comment below, I'm flowing in my currency. All right, I love y'all.
This whole notion of mirroring can easily slip into manipulation and can come across as inauthentic. It's like putting on an act and playing a role. Is that really how we are meant to build relationships? Secondly, when the video talks about men being simple and unable to discern when a woman is playing a game, that simplifies human nature far too much. We are all complex individuals, made in God's image, and to reduce someone's actions to a simple formula is a recipe for disaster. Instead, we are called to approach relationships with respect, honesty, and clear communication. Let's talk about the idea of stepping back when a man does. Now, I do believe there's wisdom in not being overly clingy or needy. We must maintain our individuality and prioritize our walk with God. However, the advice in this video seems to suggest that you should match someone's withdrawal or indifference. This is not how Christ taught us to love. Scripture does not say that we should only love when love is reciprocated. Instead, we're called to extend love and grace even when it's difficult. Now, it's not saying that we should enable toxic or sinful behavior, but we must be careful that we're not letting our pride get in the way of how we treat others. The video also mentions that when a man is always accusing or doing something negative, it's because he is doing it himself. While there may be some truth to the idea that people often project their own insecurities, as Christians, our focus should be on addressing our own sins and flaws instead of trying to find reasons to blame others. Let's be honest. Does he is doing it too make it okay for us to also do it? No. The speaker in the video recounts stories of women giving too much too soon, showering men with gifts, and being taken advantage of. I agree that when a woman spoils a man that is not even her man, that's not beneficial. I agree with the point that we should not invest more in a relationship than our partner does. It's not right to pour our energy into someone who isn't reciprocating. It's like the parable of the seeds and the soils in the Bible. We shouldn't cast our pearls before swine. I do believe, though, that as women of God, we should be generous and giving, but that generosity should flow from a heart of love, not from a desire to manipulate a man's behavior or to earn his affections. I think the video is well-intentioned, but I believe that this advice can lead to a transactional, almost manipulative approach to dating. It turns relationships into a game of who can out-strategize the other, which does not come from a place of faith and love. It's as if they're suggesting you need to be a CEO and make the other person the intern, and I think that way of looking at human relationships is unhealthy. I also want to address the notion of mirroring behavior, such as looking at other men if a man looks at other women. From a Christian standpoint, such behavior is neither healthy nor a reflection of love. We, as Christians, should not be driven by jealousy, envy, or pettiness. It's crucial to address any feelings of insecurity directly through communication and prayer, not by engaging in tit-for-tat behavior. Now, the speaker in the video talks about the importance of prioritizing beauty and fitness. While I don't think we should be obsessed with our external appearance, there is nothing wrong with taking care of the temple that God has given us. But as Christians, our value isn't based on our outward looks. Our true beauty comes from within, from our relationship with Jesus. I disagree with the idea that we have to become some kind of beauty queen to have value. God already made us valuable. In conclusion, I believe that instead of trying to manipulate or mirror someone's behavior, we should focus on building genuine, Christ-centered relationships. We should not be playing games. We should approach others with love, grace, honesty, and respect, and be willing to communicate openly and clearly. It's not about taking your power back. It's about surrendering our will to God and living according to His principles. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Black Tea Podcast. Let's continue to seek God's wisdom in all our relationships. Until next time, stay blessed.